Yes.
Look at the screen, sir.
Yes.
That's you shooting him?
Yes.
Can you admit that you shot him in cold blood?
Yes.
You shot him again, didn't you?
Yes.
Hello friends, I hope you are doing well. My name is Amir and today in this video I am going to examine the reaction of the most dangerous criminals when they hear their death sentence. It is very interesting that some of them do not even bow their eyebrows and do not get upset when they hear the sentence. Well, the first case is Michael Brady, who attempts to escape from prison, which results in the death of 4 prison employees in a correctional institution in North Carolina.
I stabbed him like 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Hammer until he stopped moving. I don't know how many times I hit him with the hammer.
After shooting a North Carolina state trooper, Brady is sentenced to 24 years in prison for attempted murder. 4 years later, Brady and 3 other inmates brutally murdered 4 prison employees with a hammer and scissors.
That man, Michael Brady, beat that man, George Midget, like he was trying to bust concrete. After
this action, Michael had tried to jump the prison fences and escape, but the armed agents arrested him. During the trial, the prosecutors argued that Michael is the one who designed this attack and has no remorse for the murders.
We know who originated the plan. We know who led the plan.
After Michael Brady was found guilty and faces sentencing.
I'm up here to tell the truth. You can ask me anything you want. I'm gonna tell the truth. Whether it hurts me, whether it helps me, I don't care about that.
You don't believe you're crazy, do you?
No, I don't think I'm crazy, no.
And you do know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes.
So you know murder is wrong?
Murder is a different name for a death, but yes.
Your freedom meant more than their lives.
Yes.
Now the judge reads the advice and opinion of the jury.
Jury unanimously recommending that the defendant be sentenced to death.
Brady appears completely unmoved, and the judge later agrees to the death penalty. He is now incarcerated in a prison in Colorado, awaiting his death sentence. The second case is related to Austin Myers and Timothy Mosley, both of whom were convicted of 18-year-old Justin Beck in Waynesville, Ohio. Both Austin and Timothy went to Justin S. father's house to steal a safe, and in the process took Justin S. bike. They choked the wire.
The idea of strangling them, that way it would create no mess, pretty much be an easier job to handle. Obviously, Justin was trying to put up a fight, and he wasn't overpowering us.
After this, Justin gets stabbed 21 times and dies. Mosley says in his conversations that Justin was trying to ask us why we are doing this and he was begging for his life. Mosley makes a deal and in his trial, he testifies against his accomplice Myers and confesses to his own crime and is sentenced to life imprisonment. Finally, Myers faces the jury and asks them not to give him the death sentence for the sake of his family.
Choose for me to die. It's only going to cause more pain and suffering for another family, not me. It won't hurt me. I won't feel anything. It's going to hurt more innocent people.
After this, Justin S. father says the following to Myers.
I'm not going to stand up here and tell you how much I hate you. That is without question. I would just hope that every time you close your eyes at night, you see my son Justin.
After the jury recommends the death sentence, Myers uses his last chance to avoid the death sentence. He says that if you let me live, I can do good things in this life. But these words do not impress the judge. And he issues the maximum punishment.
The defendant does not understand how precious life is. Therefore, the sentence of death shall be imposed upon Austin Gregory Myers on the charge of aggravated murder.
Finally, Austin Myers becomes the youngest person in Ohio to be sentenced to death. He is currently in the correctional institution awaiting execution.
There were so many lives destroyed by this, and it was just for nothing. I mean, there was no money in the safe. There was nothing in there. They did this for basically nothing.
Well, the third case is Nico Jenkins, who was convicted of 4 counts of murder. He committed these crimes over the course of 10 days. At the age of 15, Jenkins was sentenced to 10 years in prison for car theft and forgery. And he is sent to the Juvenile Correctional Center. A month after his release, Jenkins shot and killed 2 people in a robbery. 8 days later, he went to the next victim, who was one of his friends who met in prison. That person he is shot and killed in his garage. 2 days later, Jenkins kills his 4th victim in a carjacking. Interestingly, Jenkins is arrested on unrelated charges, but after the arrest, the police were able to find the ammunition used in one of the murders to Jenkins.
You not realize I got Nico Jenkins? You not realize that? I got Nico Jenkins. I got you. What do you mean you got me? I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car. Sir. I got the weapon. I got Nico Jenkins.
Nico Jenkins pleads no contest to 4 counts of first-degree murder. He also waives his right to a jury trial. This means that a jury of 3 judges will decide whether he is innocent or guilty.
Each one of these murders was a deliberate and planned act. The victims were pre-selected and the murders were purposeful.
After Jenkins is found guilty of 4 murders, he sits still, only moving occasionally. Now his sentence is being read.
Therefore, this panel finds that the death penalty is appropriate, should be, and is hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant.
While Jenkins is accused of execution, he seems to be completely impatient. He is currently in the Nebraska State Prison awaiting the execution of his death sentence. The 4th person is Martz Abram, who has been convicted of 2 counts of murder for the murder of 2 employees at a Walmart store in Mississippi. Abram worked at a Walmart store and is facing suspension because he carried a knife in the store. The day he is suspended, he returns to the store with several weapons and starts shooting and kills the carpet managers, Anthony Brown and Brandon Gill.
He was laying on the ground with his eyes open, and I ran up to him, and I looked at him. I said, Anthony, honey, please say Casey one more time.
He also shoots an officer, but he is not seriously injured due to his bulletproof vest.
Once I got out of my vehicle, I heard gunshots, and I felt the pressure of the bullet in my back.
He was arrested at the same place, and now Abram confesses all his crimes in court.
That's you, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Look at it, please, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Gale is on the floor going down at this point, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, and that's you shooting him, right?
Yes.
Look at the screen, sir.
Yes.
That's you shooting him?
Yes.
And you admit that you shot him in cold blood?
Yes.
You shot him again, didn't you?
Yes.
In court, the wife of one of the victims speaks like this.
You took Anthony from me on the exact day, 20 years earlier, that we had our first date.
After this, it is the judge's turn to decide on Abram's fate. The judge in this case sentences Abram to 2 death sentences for his first 2 murders and to life imprisonment for the 3rd crime of shooting a police officer, which means he has no way to escape. The 5th case is related to Marketh Lloyd, who was convicted for the murder of a police officer in Florida.
I'm breaking a relationship for somebody else I absolutely don't know nothing about. And they frame me.
Lloyd was already on the run because he murdered his ex-girlfriend who was pregnant with his child. A month after this crime he is seen in a Walmart store. You can see him enter the store and a few minutes later Lieutenant Deborah Clinton. He goes in there. You see the lieutenant pick up a shopping cart and enter the store. It was reported that they were crossing the same route every few minutes. Outside the store, Lieutenant Clinton is notified and he tries to arrest and stop Lloyd. Slow down. They fight outside the store, and finally Lieutenant Clinton gets shot 4 times and is killed. Lloyd escapes again and a chase happens for him. It took 9 days for him to be found and arrested. When Lloyd was arrested, he tried to escape again, and a conflict occurred again, and this time he lost his left eye in this conflict. Of course, Maybe the police officers wanted a settlement for killing their colleague. In the court, Lloyd takes the front and according to reports, he said that everyone was planning to kill him.
And I was just reacting. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired too, so I just reacted.
The jury finds him guilty and Lieutenant Clayton's sister says something to the criminal.
She stood in the place as my mother when I didn't have one. I truly miss my sister. I truly miss her.
This is also the moment when Lloyd realizes that they unanimously proposed the death sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Floyd, should be sentenced to death.
The judge then agrees with the jury and gives Lloyd the death sentence. He is currently behind bars and waiting to die. Thank you for being with me until the end of this video. If you want to see more criminal videos, subscribe to the channel and set the bell to all. We are waiting for your likes and comments because it helps the channel to grow.